Oh, are we live?
I don't know.
Ooh.
I see a logo on your screen. It's blurry from here, so I've got 20/70 vision is in my left eye.
Well, happy Friday, everybody. What's up? Welcome to the live. As always, thanks for tuning in.
Seems like it's been a while since you've let me live.
Since I've let you live,
Yeah.
I think that's actually more of a
It's been like a month
thing.
or two.
No,
Well,
it's been a couple weeks.
It's been.
we
a
were
long
at
time.
NRA just 2 short weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yes.
But before that, I think we did do a couple without you, and that was
Nice.
everybody's loss.
Now we're not getting away with that, are we?
But we are so back.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
that.
So we're going to talk RXD cans today as our main theme. But before we jump into that, Justin, are we anywhere this weekend?
We're somewhere this weekend.
Yeah.
There will be an event at the Team Room in
Ooh.
Sarasota, Florida.
Awesome.
Kane will be there. I got the impression that, Team Room, they put together a really good group of companies. There'll be some other cool representation there, and I got the impression when Kane was telling me about it that those events may not always be open to the public. I'm not sure if that's true, but this one will be open to the public. So if you're in the Sarasota, Florida area, go see Kane.
Awesome.
Check
Is
out some
it-
product.
Oh, yeah.
Live fire or just like static demo inside?
I actually don't know on that.
Is it like a range? Is the place a range?
I'm not sure. I assume they have a range,
I don't know about it either.
given the number of companies, but I can look at the.
You made me curious when you were talking about it.
I'll look at the event form and see if it has any more details. We can hit it again on our way out here today.
Florida, nice
Awesome.
place to be this time of year.
Yeah.
Like 300% humidity and 200 degrees or something by
Mm-hmm.
now, right?
And then next week, we're going to be at
Utah,
in Utah, obviously.
home field advantage.
That's right. So come on out if you guys are in the area. It's going to be a good event. A lot of different companies out there.
Yeah, Utah's solid.
Yep. All the Utah companies, some companies from out of state as well. So
Absolutely.
it's going to be a good time. We'll all be there. It'll be fun to catch up with y'all. You guys can come shoot all of the new products.
And
So
that's a total live fire range day event.
it is. Yes.
So-
Full range day. So come by and see us.
Yeah, we'll be rolling deep.
Yeah. A lot of staff.
Yeah,
It'll be good times.
We'll be staffed up. Being here at home.
Yes. Awesome. Anywhere else?
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. And then I think the next one after that's going to be, I know for sure, Blade Show in Atlanta. We will be there as well. So if you guys are going to the Blade Show, swing by our booth and come say hello.
Late show will be cool.
Yes.
If you like guns, you probably like knives.
I think they kind of go hand in hand.
I like to blend the two together.
Yes.
Personally, but I
Yeah.
know a lot of people don't do that, but I like it.
Yeah, definitely.
We do have this will be closer to the end of the month,
Okay.
May 23rd, 24th, Winter Haven, Florida,
Okay.
at Lead Feather.
Awesome.
And then, let's see, May 27th, Oviedo, Florida, at the Armories.
Ooh.
May 29th at the Armories in Kissimmee, Florida.
Man, Kane's getting around this month.
May 28th at
Yep.
the Armories in Winter Garden, Florida.
Oh, so all the
So-
armories. I like that.
Florida people, this is your
Time to shine.
time.
Sunshine State.
It's Florida era.
Your
yeah.
month before it gets too hot.
Yeah, we're making the rounds down there.
Yes. Okay. So should we jump into some product?
Yeah, I say let's hit it.
Okay.
Let's, we covered RXD stuff on the last live when we were at NRA, but we kept that one pretty short because it was busy showroom floor and it was a little hectic being right there
Yes.
at the show. So figured we just go ahead and cover these again. Let anybody ask any more questions that they have now that they've been out for more than a day,
Yeah.
and then we can open it up for more questions after that.
I
Awesome.
like it.
So let's talk RXD30Ti first. I think that sounds good. So this is going to be a 3D printed silencer for us out of titanium. It's a totally new design for us. It's not a copy and paste of the Nomad series. We do a few different things with this can. Obviously, as you see here on the table, we have burnt bronze as a new color for us for these particular models.
Kind of a Ruger matching color.
Yeah, definitely. And some other cool features we have are going to be the rear direct thread mount actually has a muzzle brake incorporated into it. So it will increase the lifespan of your silencer and reduce erosion of your blast baffle.
So if you want light as possible and short as possible, that's direct thread length, but plus brake. So kind of cool for those people that are, into taking a 1/2 inch, or I get it. Like if that's important to you, then every little bit helps. So
Definitely.
you got that.
Yeah. Also inside we have our Triskelion baffles here at the base of the silencer. And then we have Nomad baffles up front, towards the front of the silencer. We also have a integrated e-brake, which is all 3D printed into the silencer. So that will reduce length overall and the need to purchase an additional accessory.
Correct. It's half the distance of an e-brake or less, incorporated like that, and no additional cost.
Definitely.
Nice.
Super nice. This is going to be also before I move on, your front cap is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a flash hider front cap, but it's not going to take any proprietary tools. Same with the direct thread adapter in the back. You can use standard sockets to remove the front cap or the rear direct thread adapter. So that's very handy if you don't want to take a bunch of tools around with you to the range.
If memory serves, I believe that's 11/16 on the front cap and 13/16 on the direct thread mount.
Yeah, definitely. And then, so bolt gun can, obviously titanium rules apply for these silencers. It's going to be for your PRS hunting type of applications, anything like that. You could do some 300 blackout with it as well. Your barrel length restrictions are going to be 20-inch on Magnum cartridges. And then on sub-Magnum cartridges like 5.56 and 308, it's going to be a 16-inch, or excuse me, 12.5-inch barrel length restriction. And then on your subsonic 300 blackout, it's going to be a 6-inch barrel length restriction.
Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome. So onto the 22.
I like how you do that. That's like Encyclopedia Britannica of specs and
I try.
info. I love it.
Yep. Oh, also, these guys are 15.4 ounces in weight. Something to know. Then we've got RXD22Ti. So new 22 silencer for us in collaboration with Ruger. We didn't copy and paste the mask or anything like that. We did a whole brand new from the ground up design. So you see there.
Printed core.
All printed core, 3D printed tie. It's going to be PVD coated for cleaning. This is obviously a shot unit.
Thank you.
Boom. There you go.
You know what I want to do.
Yep. So 5.6 ounces in weight on that guy. And then
I have enough grip to get it out with my weakened geriatric strength.
And then burnt bronze as well as black for that one. It's going to be, monocores traditionally have been not the best sounding suppressors over modern suppressor history. Why don't you talk about monocores a little bit?
General speak, a monocore usually is going to provide you with a great amount of first round pop on a handgun. 22 long rifle, obviously we're talking about that's its primary caliber. It's like any 22 caliber can. It can do a myriad of other little small micro type bottleneck cases and little straight wall cases like 22 mag or what have you. But the monocore usually works out really well on a rifle and kind of rough on a handgun. Mm-hmm. But this particular monocore design, very different, and it is very good at first round pop on pistol and rifle. So it will actually get a couple dB under a mask on a meter. So if you're looking for a can that can be a little quieter than that, and I know that's been a big thing over the years, people trying to beat a mask, and a mask is a super good sounding can And that's right there with it. So
Yeah.
you've got that going for it.
So easy to clean as well. Obviously, it's one piece, so super easy to disassemble and bring out of your main tube here. It's PVD coated. We also have a longer lifespan before you have to clean this silencer, which I think is super handy because you get more time on the range, less time taking things apart and cleaning them, especially on rimfire with all the lead.
Correct. It's just, and sorry I didn't check this before, but it mounts on a small muzzle device, which is a little overhand type for me right now.
Yeah.
But there's a little muzzle device in there. So unlike traditionally mounting half 28 direct thread as your rimfire mounting, your main mounting solution, this has it's right hand thread, but it's a simple thread to taper locking muzzle device to help it to keep from coming loose. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. It acts as a lead catch, again, for extending intervals between cleaning the silencer. We're obviously going to have those available to sell as a specific muzzle device, so you guys can outfit all of your rifles, pistols, bolt guns, anything like that, get them set up, and then you can swap the can from gun to gun.
That'll remove the need for thread size and pitch adapters.
Yeah.
You'll be able to go muzzle device 10 millimeter, for example, or 8 millimeter to can instead of adapting and then getting to have 28 with your adapter and then can. So
Definitely.
kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
No one likes tolerant stacking.
No. Perfect. Ratings on these are going to be obviously full auto 22. So additionally 17 HMR, 22 Magnum, and 5.7 by 28. So great can, still built tough, lighter weight, quieter. It's a good little upgrade.
All the things you think, we're pretty excited about it.
Definitely. Yeah. Anything else? I think we hit all the
You did good
points
on that.
on those guys. MSRP's $499, $1099.
Your
on
wrench will
RXD30.
Take the front cap off, kind of handy.
Yeah. So both of these silencers do come with tools, but they do not require proprietary tools to disassemble.
Correct.
So super handy. Awesome.
We have some there's some questions in the chat.
All right.
I mean, they're rolling in.
Let's
do
get to it.
questions.
So
Heck yeah.
I want to kind of if anyone has questions specific to the RXD stuff, let's get to those. Right now I have one here. We'll see if a couple more roll in here while we're addressing that one, and then we'll jump into the other stuff, into some fun stuff.
Okay.
First question, pretty simple. You kind of touched on it when you were talking about ratings, but will the RXD30Ti take the hard uses of the big 30 cals? So
Absolutely.
yeah, it
Yeah.
will. Not necessarily a hard use silencer, meaning
But you mean higher pressure
titanium,
bottleneck Magnum
but yeah,
cartridges?
you're-
Absolutely.
yeah,
yes,
you're going up
that's-
to 300 PRC,
That's what it's for.
7 PRC.
Yes,
You'll have no problem.
absolutely.
Yeah,
It is a Magnum rated silencer for sure.
and it's awesome. 7
Great
PRC,
sounding can.
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Super pleasant to the ear.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone said, I'm curious how the tone and dB reduction is compared to the Sandman X.
It'll beat a Sandman X on sound meter for sure. Tone, I would think as well. That would be really more depending on different calibers and how you hear it. I think tone is more of a thing that you perceive. I know it is for me. I really am drawn to a deeper tone, but it does not have a high-pitched tone to it. I've never heard it have a high-pitched tone.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
got
like
a good sound.
I would agree. I feel tone is very subjective to everybody's ears and how much hearing damage they have from other things in life.
I
like
tell
they all
you-
get.
Yeah, sound meter wise, it's between a Nomad Ti and TIXC, the L. It's a great sounding can, especially for its size.
Yeah, definitely for its size.
I'm excited to see some third party people meter it,
Yeah,
you know, and put some numbers up on it out there.
definitely.
All right. We will we'll move into some of the other stuff, and if some more RXD questions roll in, we will hit them.
Perfect.
So let's just get right to it. We got a few questions in the chat about Chemo.
Okay.
Hit me with it. What's your question?
Questions about, I mean, particularly OCL making another statement that they're not going to be warrantying anything with Chemo. So people are asking, you know, bringing that up and then asking, what's the deal with Chemo? What's going on with Chemo? What's the problem with Chemo? So.
Gotcha. Chemo, then you shouldn't put it on a Otter Creek lab scan. I can't help if they don't want to warranty a can with Chemo on it. Chemo's solid. It's been around for a long time. We don't have a increase in Chemo related warranties. I mean, you're always going to have, if Mankind makes something and you make enough of them, you're going to have some of them that have some trouble. That's just life. Like, you could have a space shuttle blow up even though you try really hard to make it not do it. Like, it's just going to happen. But no, Chemo's solid. And if Otter Creek, you'll have to decide if A, you'll have to stop using Chemo, or B, you'd have to pick another can to buy if you are a Chemo guy and want to use Chemo.
Yeah, I think it's important to note, obviously, different companies can warranty their products as they see fit. To reiterate what Mike's saying, we're not seeing a huge issue with Chemos. We have mountains and mountains of those adapters and muzzle devices out there. We stand behind our product 100% and warranty our product 100%. So
Yeah, we'll always make and service Chemo. We'll never stop doing that. And we have, I don't know, 10 or 12 people that are licensed to make Chemo muzzle devices, and it seems good.
sure.
That's a great thing for the industry, and standardization of Chemo has been super nice, I think,
Yeah.
for end users and us and everybody else.
Yeah. I also think it, you know, if they're having an issue, reach out to us.
Sure.
Let's talk. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're happy to communicate with you guys and see what's going on.
Yeah. That's easy.
Yeah, I
And-
don't know if anybody's ever asked us about it.
I don't believe I've ever been reached out to on that. So
Fair.
reach out to us, guys. Let's
Yeah.
talk.
And I do think it's important that, I mean, I think it seems like there's a lot of people asking because this is just a recent hot topic. And I think people are asking, looking for a certain type of response. I'm not 100% sure, but the reality is, like, we're not unaware of what's being said or what's happening in the industry. We're aware, and when we're also not. It's not like we're doing QA, we're doing QC. We're aware of all these things that are happening and making sure that everything's up to snuff, and we're not seeing the problem. So
Yeah, but
email us, give us a call.
I mean, for response, we can't help it if what other companies decide to do warranty-wise.
Yeah, 100%. That's their choice.
I
And
mean, we don't know. Like you say, they haven't reached out to us, so what do we do?
But we are
We're
happy
good,
to
and we still sell
Yeah.
it and always will. And
we are happy to talk to them about that. And you know, I think, you know, some time ago we did quite a big upgrade, obviously, for our whole company, and increasing staff and throughout all the departments and refining process everywhere. And so I
Sure.
think that's important to note as well. And we still continue to sell Chemo in great numbers.
well, we try to improve every part of business and
Mm-hmm.
try to be better people.
Yeah.
I know I have a long way to go, but I work on it.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, Always looking to get better and be better, and we'll speak with them and see what types of issues they're having.
Sure.
All right. On to the next. That
Okay.
covered about 8 questions in one.
Okay.
Or we can answer any other questions.
Yeah,
however
sure.
You want to word it.
Shoot more questions through.
All right. This is not totally a question, but it looks like he's looking for maybe a little bit of advice here.
Oh, actually, hold on. Let's
yeah.
let's address this question real
Yeah.
quick, just because it's on topic with what we would talk about. He said, I tend to agree that operator error is a thing, but not when the product is snapping off the lugs with these newer batches of chemo. Well, I want to just address that. I think that's important. If you do not tighten the chemo and you do shoot it loose, it can snap off the teeth. So
If you shoot it enough, it will. It'll jackhammer
Yeah.
and it'll break the teeth. If
Yep.
it just gets a little loose, it won't do anything. If it gets a little loose and you keep shooting, it'll bend the teeth.
Yep.
And if you keep shooting after that, it will break the teeth.
Yes.
100%.
Definitely. So make sure with any chemo muzzle device or adapter, when you tighten, make sure you're tightening the suppressor with the suppressor body and tighten it as hard as possible. Give it a good umph, because we do see if people do not tighten those, that's where you run into issues.
Well, you can't tighten it down gingerly. You have to tighten it on. I tell people it's a thread to taper, and that would be like tightening your tapered lug nuts down by hand. Like you have to tighten it on.
Definitely.
You're always going to get, I tell people, you're always going to get one more click than when it stops, you know?
Right. Fair.
Get one, get that last 1 or 2 clicks.
Oh, get aggressive with it. Don't baby it.
Yeah.
But that being said, with all the chemo that's out there, we have very few come in that people have shot loose that have not been tightened on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you think about
Yeah.
all the chemo that we've put out in the field, and it's going to happen. I mean, people will fail to tighten. I think that's probably its biggest problem.
Mm-hmm. I would say so.
Okay. Next question. This guy said, went to clean my mask yesterday, stacking the baffles back together, and it seems like one of them is maybe out of round or something because it's not seating / locking in like the rest. Maybe just send us an email.
The little guide for them, the notch that aligns them all, I'm guessing that those are all lined up. But they don't necessarily need to snap together, although they can. But if your question is some of them kind of stick together and some of them don't, that's totally fine. Or shoot us some pictures and shoot an email over to CS and we'll walk you through that.
Yeah, and I would go look at the video, the assembly and disassembly video, and make sure that there are little notches for how the baffles clip in. So make sure you're watching that and paying attention when you are putting those together and when also you're sliding the tube over that stack.
That's your easiest way to put that together wrong.
Yeah.
info@deadairsilencers.com.
Sure, yeah.
If you want to just
shoot us an email too, pictures, everything. We're happy to help. Give us a call.
If you're really worried, send some photos. And
And we'll take care of you regardless. If
We'll get it
something's
figured
going
out.
on, we'll get it
Of course.
Okay, recommendation for a DD, PDW, and 300 blackout.
There's so many good choices.
I'd say Nomad L, whether it be a printed TI or stainless L, is going to be your quietest thing from us. And Wolfman would be your second best choice. And I would pick a can And you may want to use the Sandman X. Make sure that when you pick that 30 caliber can for your black, that it fits the most other things that you have in what you're into.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. If you're prioritizing sound, you want the absolute quietest. Nomad L.
Yep.
You want the low back pressure. Sandman X. Wolfman also is awesome.
Yeah, if you're
Could run it
shooting
long, could run it
some
short.
9mm in there.
Yeah. Got a bunch of 9mm guns.
Yeah. Totally depends on what you're going to do with it.
For me, it'd be Wolverine. I didn't say that because I'm sure that doesn't fit for everybody else. There, see,
I'm glad you said that.
it's like a lot of answers you could do that are good on that, but it really depends on, that's a greatly personal thing too, to use it with a bunch of other stuff.
Okay. I'm interested in a dedicated 5.56 can and very interested in the Ruger Dead Air 1. I'm running my Primal on my Ruger AR currently. Great can, by the way. So, dedicated 5.56 can. Kind of depends what it's going on.
Well, you've got a couple choices there. Primary for that, we have Sierra 5, which is going to be our smallest diameter, shortest, lightest can that we can put up for 5.56, and a Lazarus 6, primarily a 5.56 can, but it's fatter, longer, heavier, more expensive, and lower back pressure. And then you could use anything in 30 that's not TI, preferably. I mean, you could use TI if you did it, we're a little mellow on it, but general speak, those cans are more geared towards bolt guns than semi-autos, and it's kind of doing yourself a favor to steer clear from putting, say, a Nomad or that RXD on a AR-15.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Chemo maintenance question. I was just searching up on a recommended time frame on when to replace the detent spring and locking collar on Chemo. Can anyone advise?
So you really...
There's
Go
no
ahead.
time. Sorry. I don't mean to question Hog.
You're good.
I'll shut up.
No, go ahead.
There's some detents on the locking plate on Chemo. They do not help it to stay tight. They are just there to make sound. We made a conscious decision to put those in so that it had an audible click to it. You could file those off and continue to use it. If those wear down, and they will over time wear down, Colin will send you another lock plate out and you can throw it in there, but there's no interval or really other than tactile feel for that to be in there. So
Yeah. And so we do have those on our website for sale if you want to grab extras.
you could buy a couple and keep them on hand, like in stock.
Spare
also.
parts are always a good idea, but that's only for, like Mike said, audible clicks.
Any way you want to do that.
Yep.
I like the clicks.
I think most people like the
I try
clicks.
to keep the clicks. I like them.
See, I don't like the clicks.
Something about it is just nice to me.
I like silence.
I like the
Ooh.
clicks, but if it gets worn down, I don't get too worried about it. I just keep using it.
Yeah, just
But that's just me. Like,
as long as that thing is, once again, just tightened all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Good to go. But understandably, it can be a little unsettling for someone who's used to the
Absolutely.
clicks, and that's kind of how they know.
we'll make it click again. No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the mask, how hard can I run it on a 5.7 handgun?
You could certainly break it if you really wanted to on a 5.7 handgun. I would suggest it's a direct thread can. So rather than just putting a ton of mags through it, I would suggest checking the tightness on it. That's probably really what would get it.
Yeah, since it's direct thread.
It would come loose at some point and
Yeah. All
get
direct
blown up.
threads
You'd blow it up. If
on
you just-
pistols will come loose. So pay
Agreed.
attention to that more than anything.
But run it like I'm not sure how hard you want to run it, or, I mean, do what you want with it.
Yeah, what type of pistol are we talking about? Are we talking about an actual handgun?
I guess.
Or are we talking about
He said
a
handgun.
PCC
Yeah,
with a
handgun.
brace?
He did say
That's on-
handgun.
Okay,
So,
there we go. Yeah.
yeah.
Have fun with it. Shoot till your heart's content.
You're Ken, like you get to make the rules on
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
When should we expect to see the RXDs in stock?
I don't know if we've been given a for sure time, but I would say very, very soon there's a ton of RXDs
Yep.
in process. Let me put it another way. If those RXDs don't come out and go into the stream of commerce, like we pretty much put all of our chips in that basket, as it were. So it's super important to us too.
Yeah.
We'd like to get those in and out.
Yeah.
They'll be soon.
Yeah, should be within the next month.
Yeah, and some
We'll
are
start
getting out
this-
there already.
Yeah.
So, but I think you'll see a bigger number
Yeah.
of those go out in about a month's time.
And also based on response from, obviously just distribution sales, that first run is going to go fast.
Yes,
They're getting picked up.
absolutely.
Well,
So
ask us
also,
and
also
we'll
understand that.
kind of give you an idea that once they really start to flow in sizable numbers, it may seem like none of them are going out. To your point, is there a lot of pre-sales on that? So.
Yeah. Yeah, so do understand that. But yeah, we've kind of should be end of the month soon after that.
We'll get there.
Yeah. What else we got here? Ty Rush says, Mike, I've been an emotional wreck since you told me not to shoot red-coated Centec ammo through my Wolfman. I bought so much of it. Will it void my warranty?
Dude, I'm sorry. No, well, look, your emotional health is, even though we don't really know each other, I'm guessing, very well, it's still important to me. Just try not to shoot it, but you clean the tar out of it and keep it clean. Right? I mean,
Yeah, clean it often.
it's going to be way better than lubed lead.
Oh yeah.
That is not a choice for me to shoot.
No.
But when it comes to mental health, like, get some good lead remover and soak it in there and keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
Be happy.
Any barrel length restrictions on the 22 can for 17 Wisdom?
I don't believe so.
No barrel
No.
length restrictions on the RXD22.
No.
You'd be good to go. Best recommendation, 300 blackout and SP5. Also muzzle devices. There are so many these days. What would you recommend if swapping everything out at once as far as muzzle devices for a can? For a 300 blackout and an SP5?
Man,
Yeah, Wolfman.
Wolfman all day.
Now, this, and I'm not saying that you do this, and there are a ton of choices, and I'm just going to say what I would do. I would 3-lug it for SP5 because I really like 3-lug on an actual HK. And then I would pop that mount out, standard AR-15 M4 buttstock wrench, easy. I'd just take that out and then put in what I wanted on the black. Key micro, direct thread,
Zeno.
Xeno. You got a lot of choices there.
There's so many choices, so pick your
Yeah.
poison, whatever you like. It's going to be good to go.
Or you could do that on the SP5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, personally, like, the more time that goes on, I think aesthetics to me become more important because at this stage of the game, I know you don't think you'll get there, but you'll be there before you know it. You do more looking than you do shooting and running around.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to have it look like I want it to look.
Is the Lazarus 6 better than the Sandman X for 5.56 rifles? If so, why? I see that it's a little bit heavier. Why is that?
That's a good question. And for out and out 5.56 performance, and if you want to meter them, yes, it is better. And it is triskelion all the way through. A Sam NX is hybrid, and it's got 3 cones printed into the print at the muzzle end of the can. I think I look at it like this. Is it better for the other things you want to put it on, or do you want to make it dedicated and just leave it on a rifle? You know, I think that's like important. For me, I move cans around a lot. I've got way more rifles than cans, and I know everybody's not like that. And I would like to think that at some point I would get to where I just had a can on everything I was going to put a can on, but that seems like a lot. So I don't do it.
Yeah, that Lazarus being Triskelion all the way through and having just slightly smaller bore size, it's a lot of material.
And a Triskelion baffle has got a lot more mass to it than a cone. And
so marginal. It is a small weight difference, but
we're not talking night and day on any of these.
No,
we're talking minuscule difference on sound and weight and length. Lazarus is also mildly shorter than an X.
Yeah.
You've got that.
I'm always surprised. I mean, I think to my ears, to Tasson's point earlier, tone things, everyone hears a little different.
Yep.
To my ears, I'm always surprised how like similar the sound performance is on those 2 cans. I think they're really close. So really does come down to, you going to be dedicated, or are you going to be moving this can around a lot?
Kind of like the aesthetics of a Lazarus, a little bit better. I mean, not night and day. Like, I just formed an X this week to myself, so I mean, not like a deal breaker to me, but
yeah,
I don't know. You got to kind of decide.
It depends on what you want.
Yeah,
it does.
I mean, there's a lot of options, so kind of comes down to everything. So
this is a game where, in a lot of times, there's really no wrong answer. It's just what you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
Again, probably what you're doing with that, I'd probably do a Wolverine. Like, that's my... but that's my favorite 20-inch. Like, I don't do a lot of AR-15 carbine. I do rifle. I'm a rifle guy. I like a longer barrel. I love a Wolverine on a long-barreled
absolutely
rifle.
People are saying we're not answering questions from the live. That was specifically Top Gun range down in Texas.
What kind of feed are you on?
I'm bouncing back and forth, but these last couple have been YouTube.
Yeah, they're saying it's pre-recorded. That's interesting.
Answer another question. Answer whatever's on the top or whatever question.
Mr. Slade just said Wolverine all the things.
Oh, Slade.
Possum came in. What's up, guys?
Thanks for saying that. I'm not alone. See, I thought I was alone.
Pew Pew Daily said, "Hey, Mike and Tasson, what's up, man? How are you?
Dude, how have you been?"
Here's another question. What would be the best any recommendations for suppressor or suppressing my 10.5-inch AR in AR-10 in 308?
Sam NX. 100%.
Yeah, I think 100%. You want low back pressure, durability, great flash reduction.
I'm going to say something right now that I never thought I'd say. I'd probably use that over a Wolverine. There, I said it. We should have a newspaper to hold up.
Oh, for today's date.
Oh, wait. No, I got it. Check this out. I know. Don't say this was pre-recorded, because we're in the time zone that we're in right now is Mountain Standard.
Yeah. Just so you guys know also, too, I think it's important to note we're streaming this on multiple platforms. So Instagram, YouTube, where else?
X. Just those 3.
That's 3?
Twitter, right?
So we got a lot of questions across the board from a lot of different people.
I like it when they say formerly Twitter, so I just like to say it. Sorry. program. They've programmed me to say it.
Yeah.
And,
All right.
and if anyone feels like there are certain things that we're not covering, we might have hit it before someone tuned in. So you can
That's also
you
true.
can always go back and watch.
Yep.
Because we did cover some stuff early in the live. Feel free to go back and watch. Just watch the whole thing from the start.
Or we could re-answer whatever.
Okay, what do we got here? I just moved one of my Mojave 9s to my Henry X357. I have been running only 38 special, but is it safe for 357?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that'll be fine.
You could shoot, and I'm just, going a little bit longer. What's the straight wall 9mm Air 15? 30, 330 something?
350 Legend.
350 Legend. Sorry. Drawing a blank there. That'd be like 357 Magnum XL in another way of looking at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're totally good on the 357.
This guy says, seen many vids on using CLP cleaner for baffles. Is it okay to use, and how long should I keep it soaking?
Yes, and the longer the better.
Yeah. Now, be aware, any sort of solvents or cleaners, it is possible to remove some of the Cerakote finish. So just be aware of that before you start getting too harsh with chemicals or doing anything with that.
And also on that note, you can have anyone that does Cerakote. It's just a regular high heat air cure. So that's not too big of a deal if you want to have it repainted.
No, it's not. Any Cerakote armor, or applicator certified guy can paint your cans whatever colors you want. And if you guys want our paint codes, just send us an email. We'll send you our paint code so you can get it finished exactly the way it was from the factory. Super easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Plus, and we do it quite often too.
Yeah, we
Part of our
repaint
thing,
cans
right?
all the time as they get used, scratched, dinged, anything like that. If they're show cans or anything like that, we want to make sure it's looking like it's coming fresh and brand new. But then we also have a lot of cans that are beat to hell,
Yes, we do.
which is awesome.
Which is earned, right?
Yeah. No, like Tim's serial number 6 of the Sandman S that he still uses to this day.
We shot it in North Carolina
We did.
about a month ago.
We did.
Rum Runner 55. Can I use 7.62 by 25 with my Wolverine?
7.62 by 25. Of course you can.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Yes.
see why not.
No, I like that.
I'm glad you took that one because I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm not familiar with 7.62 by 25.
Toke. It's like
He got me on that
Yeah.
one.
It's like a.
It's a
In
Russian
essence,
cartridge.
it's a 9mm
Oh.
pseudo neck down to 30.
Tokarev.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Tokarev.
I picked, got it.
Mike
There's a
likes
video
using,
game of it too.
I've
the
seen
slang.
it. I have seen it. I've shot it.
I said Toke, and I'm sorry about that, but I grew up with when Cheech and Chong movies were like out in the theater, in the drive-in movie theater. So it's just what I say.
Same guy asked, or 9mm.
No.
No 9mm
No.
on the Wolverine.
Use a Wolfman.
9mm will not fit through a
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Wolfman or Mojave 9 for 9mm.
This guy just said, putting a can on my 20-inch M16A3 carry handle. Excited.
Oh,
Pretty excited about that, too.
I like a carry handle.
Yeah.
for all you know, there's way more people like me out there than
Yeah.
you thought. That's at least 2.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say
Slade,
that guy was...
myself, and this other
He
dude.
might have been saying that just for you.
One more person, and I'll make my own wolf pack. That takes 4, right? I think it does.
What do you clean dead air products with?
All kinds of different stuff.
Yeah, we do a myriad of different things that.
We've tried, Breakthrough Clean?
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Otis. I'm trying to think.
True Blue we've tried.
True Blue is good.
And it depends on the can, too. So, for example, the mask, we've done pin tumbler with stainless pins.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that one's great.
Pin tumbling your mass baffles is pretty magic on them.
Yeah.
CLR,
Yep.
CLP,
Mm-hmm. Simple Green.
Simple Green.
We've kind of used...
We've ultrasonic. We've tumbled. We've soaked. We've solvent tanked. We do
kind of everything.
Yeah, we did. I mean, depending on what
dip
it
method.
is.
I mean, or you said soaked. Yeah.
All right. Recommendations for 25-250 bolt gun. Just looking for noise reduction.
Ooh, I would have to do Nomad L TI, the long one.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be my choice.
I would
for
as well.
250.
Absolutely.
It's like it's a small powder volume for it. I don't think the overbore of the can would matter with as long as it is and as long as your 250 barrel is going to be.
Yeah.
Sound good.
This guy says, odd question. I can't get a definitive answer on. Nomad off or Nomad on during a barrel break-in, 7 PRC.
It shouldn't matter.
Yeah. It's not going to matter at all.
It won't affect. Really, your main goal there is to keep your bore clean and lay down that first little bit of copper to fill those microscopic low spots in to make your barrel the same diameter the whole way, so you get that concentricity on your projectiles. The can, it really won't matter on that
Yeah.
at all. I don't see it.
So
yeah.
if I were going to give an answer, I'd say Nomad on.
I'd do it
Sure.
can
It's going to
on.
be easier.
Yeah, can on.
Be easier on the ears.
Then you're already,
Take it easy on the break-in.
break in,
Yeah.
get it zeroed, have fun.
Yeah.
I'd do it can on for the recoil reduction, and you're going to be firing about, I don't know, probably 50 rounds before you're really broke in, depending on how you do it. I've seen people do it on 20, 30, 50. Just depends on how it's starting to look and what you think it's looking like and how much copper you want to get laid in it and how it shoots. Tough answer.
All right. Pew Pew Daily. Any recommendations for a suppressor for my 10.5-inch AR-10 in 308?
We went over that.
Oh, did you cover that?
Yeah, same NX. Just to
Somehow-
answer that again.
Somehow I missed that one.
It's all good.
Well, then I said I actually wouldn't use Wolverine on that. Anyway,
I must
it
have
wasn't
been-
that memorable.
I must have been
You were
scrolling
probably
back in
reading. You're working.
scrolling back in the comments to see.
Better to answer it twice than not at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. What would you recommend for a Spear 308 and a 300 black MCX LT?
Say that again.
Same
the guns?
can?
So Sig Spear 308 and a 300 black MCX LT.
I'm thinking X.
I'd probably go same NX.
And it's a 300 black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
308
NX.
and 300 black, both
Yep.
semi-auto.
Yep. That's what I would do. Same NX.
And I mean I have heard from multiple accounts that the Sig Spear, the like shooting the same NX on the Sig Spear, the gas is cut down considerably. So I actually don't have a lot of time behind that gun. I don't know if it's particularly gassy, but some people have been very happy with that combination.
Definitely.
I remember Tyler at Juicy Media, he said that when he first got his X. He was really, really excited about that because he likes that gun.
Can I say something? No, I mean, I know you're not asking the question, but I'd just like to offer it up. A Ruger AC556K and a Sam NX is a pretty magical combination.
It
if you
is.
guys.
Ooh.
Pretty cool.
Just saying. Like,
And
I don't know, no one asked that. Sometimes I just like to say, I want to participate too, instead of just answer all the time.
and if anybody wants any sort of confirmation on that, maybe just stay tuned for a short video.
Mm-hmm.
It might be coming up. Maybe.
We're just going to make a fun and really pointless video, but
But it's got a cool gun in it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, sometimes you just got to just be happy and do your thing.
Someone said I did breakthrough, but it only got the carbon and not the lead. Had to use the dip on the mask. Yeah. Next time, try that tumble method with
Well-
those mask baffles.
Yeah, and pretty much just general speak, you're going to have something with some ammonia in it is really, I think, the chemical that mostly breaks down lead. I mean, there's other things that do, but just as it were.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what like lead removers smell like, ammonia. And I've seen people use ammonia, and you can do that.
Absolutely.
We had another question about that event in Sarasota, so I'm actually going to text and see if I can get an answer on if that's live fire.
Okay.
And somebody also asked, checking in from Orlando, any plans for in-store visits in this area?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not totally sure all the Florida cities that we mentioned earlier in the live, what's closest to Orlando, but,
I know
we're making the Florida rounds.
not terribly far from Orlando, and I do Shark Coast Tactical. I think it's about an hour from the Orlando airport, as I recall.
Yep.
Every other year, and this is my other year, so
Yep.
sometime long about December, I'm going to make a journey across the great United States of America
Head down to
to
Florida.
the water's edge and hang out there for a couple days with Kane
Yep.
at Shark Coast. So December, if you want to come by there.
And then just for that purpose, I'll just hit it again. Tomorrow in Sarasota, and then end of the month, Winter Garden, Florida, Kissimmee, Florida, and Oviedo, Florida.
Okay, so those are all close.
We have events all in Florida in the next couple weeks here. So
Yeah. Reardon Manufacturing says Oviedo and Winter Haven and Winter Garden shouldn't be super far either. What's up, Reardon? Hope you guys are doing well over there.
Dudes.
Okay.
let's see here. Recommendation for 300. I'm guessing 300 blackout. It just says 300 with a 7-inch barrel, so I'm gonna guess that's 300 blackout.
Hopefully.
And then how about a Strybog SP9A1?
Perfect. That's easy.
Yeah, if you're looking to do both of those,
Yeah,
What?
Wolfman.
cool.
Oh, I was going to say,
Ow.
you say first. I was going to say Wolfman, too.
I was thinking Wolfman.
Yeah, I think we all
And
were.
I'm not just saying that.
No,
I really was
I
thinking.
really think we all were.
Mm-hmm.
We could have written that down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we will.
That's the easy one.
Maybe one time when we do a live, we'll all write down our answer, and then we'll
That way no one can just go along with the crowd.
we'll just see.
Oh, I was thinking that same thing. Were you? You should have written it down.
You guys can write down in the newspaper that Mike's going to hold in 2 weeks when we do another live.
Yeah. We got to find a new.
Well, I got my phone has the date and everything. Time, date.
You brought up newspaper. We need a newspaper.
Yeah.
A newspaper, that's an old school way to make sure proof of life. You know what I'm saying?
We'll sip our coffee and read our newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be nice.
So some people are bringing up what we talked about earlier regarding the chemo. So you guys, as soon as we post this, go back and watch the clip. We definitely address that. Where's my 9mm PCC fatty can? I like a nice submachine gun can.
Yeah. A Wolfman is the heaviest set gal we've got to put up there right now.
There have been a few questions, and not just in this live, we see these occasionally, about the Wolfman X or a Wolverine X.
Well, I like the
People
sound.
really
Is
wanna
that, is
know
that
about
something you guys would like?
A Triskelion, maybe
Ooh.
a Triskelion Wolfman or Wolverine. I don't have an answer for anyone, but
I don't have an answer either.
I don't have an answer.
Figured
either.
I'd
We
at least-
should have thought of that.
at least bring it up. Could be fun.
Well, you guys know we're always working on stuff, so stay tuned.
we should do product talks here more often.
We could do
I like
product
that.
talks with these people. That'd be awesome.
You saying what you want actually has some weight.
Are you all coming out with the whole X-Man team? That's pretty funny.
Wait.
That's pretty
New
funny.
Shirt idea.
Hold on.
Wait, I'm not really a marketing guy, but no, isn't it gonna have to be 11 from 10? I mean, just going off the clock thing.
What?
Because isn't the X for 10 years?
10 years,
so
yeah.
Won't it be 11 if we stuck with that theme, or will we just stick with 10 and go 10?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay,
Question.
let's look at this for a second. This guy says, would love to put my primal on my rising someday.
Ooh.
Like,
Ju-
well, does a Rising has a?
Let's.
Forgive me, it's got.
It's
a
been a
little bit
while
of a
since I've looked at
comp
one.
on the front, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. It's been a while since
I haven't-
unleashed a Rising.
Same. It has been quite a bit of time since I've shot one.
But I like some 45 ACP as much as the next guy.
I do too. Oh, it looks like some of them have comps. There were some that were front sight around the barrel.
Is your comp threaded on? Does a Rising have threads? I don't even know that.
I don't own one. I know someone who does though. We should call him after this.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
curious.
I know the same guy.
You know the same guy.
You want to write the name down?
Here.
Are we thinking of the same guy?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be cool though, a suppressed rising.
Yeah, suppressed
I
Rising would
support
be
that.
good. It'd
Just
be
saying.
better.
I want to see this project. If you do this, please send us photos.
Yeah, we support that.
Top Gun Range says, I want a hub Wolverine. Well, we do have the hub adapter.
Yeah, we have
adapter.
that.
So you can adapt it to hub immediately.
Do you know the part number off the top of your head?
I'll find it right now.
You don't
I can't
have to.
remember the
It
part.
doesn't matter. You're usually super spot on with the part numbers, but it's I believe we call it something like Wolverine
Oh,
hub
it's
thread
like
adapter.
Wolverine hub adapter. WV211 is the part number.
I use that a lot. You need a 1.5 inch socket or wrench
Yep.
to tighten that in.
Mm-hmm.
Make it easy.
Someone said the rising is threaded.
Okay.
There
now,
you go. We
here's-
got to figure
here's
out the
my
threads.
question. Yeah, tell me what size threads they have.
Yeah.
That's really our next thing we need to know.
Mm-hmm. We'll figure that out.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if somebody knows, then we don't have to really do as much. Like,
Maybe that guy will let us shoot that suppressed. If he
I'll bet
has
he
the
would.
threaded one.
we'll ask him.
Yep. If you guys would like to see that.
I want to see it.
We are
Ooh.
sitting at right about an hour. So
Okay.
if there's-
Perfect. Let's wrap it up.
Did
with
you
the
did you see
finisher.
something, Tasson? That
No, I was just going to answer another question.
yeah, let's hit it. Let's
Finishing question.
let's hit
M1
one more.
carbine, what dead air can should I put on that gun?
Well, you could put anything 30 on there. Or Wolfman, maybe? Sandman X? Sandman? Okay.
Man, you know
Yes.
what would kind of look cool? Wolverine.
Shut up.
That would look so cool on an
That's
M1
what I'd
carbine.
put on, but I didn't want to say.
Just saying.
Yeah, Wolverine
I think that would
be
look outstanding. on it.
weird, but I like
cool.
it. I like where you're going with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Guys, if we didn't answer a question, please shoot us an email, DM, anything like that.
CS.
Give us a call. We're happy to speak with y'all. We will see you guys then on the next live.
Thanks for spending the time.
Have a great weekend.